CROWNCAST, we're back.
What's up?
It's been a while.
The longest break we've had for CROWNCAST.
Longest break. Yep. Viruses going around, people getting sick.
You got sick, then you were gone, then I got sick.
Right.
So it's been like 3 weeks.
So, sorry, Internet. I know y'all were waiting for us. Like, where are they? Our mothers are waiting for a new episode. And here it is, Mom. You should be happy. I love you, Mom. Okay, well, it's going to be a cool episode today because we are talking through Las Vegas,
Yep.
Infocomm 2024.
Yep.
So I got to go the other week. Went to kind of pitch a new business that we'll probably be chatting about in the next couple of weeks. Some big news coming out of Crown, some new stuff. There's Easter eggs in this podcast that might tell you what's going on. Don't know what it is, but you know. But yeah, so today we're going to go over Infocomm 2024. I had an opportunity to go. Audrey came with me. We got to walk the conference, see new technology, see a bunch of our manufacturer friends. Didn't get a hug from Smile. Kind of pissed off about that, but whatever. It's okay. He's moving up in the ranks anyways. Doesn't matter. And just Vegas itself, and went to the Sphere.
Yeah.
So I want to tell the world about the Sphere. It's pretty intense.
Yeah. So should we kind of set the scene for Infocomm?
Unless there's other things you want to talk about.
I mean, Freedom Fest.
Okay, well so that'll be a podcast next week or a week after?
It'd be the week after, I guess.
Okay, so we'll be doing a podcast for Freedom Fest. Why don't you tell them about Freedom Fest?
So Freedom Fest is a fireworks show that we do. Right. Now this thing has morphed and grown over the years. I think this could possibly be like our 8th or 9th year. It started off like at my house. We had a couple things of fireworks, the typical light them and run kind of set up, and then that got a little bigger each year. We would buy more and more people would start showing up. Yeah. And then we one year we were like, all right, let's do some music out the window. So we shot speakers out my window so we could have American music going while we blew stuff up. Yep.
I remember the first year we were just kind of lighting it and running, and then we had one bad firework box that shot towards us, and we're like, oh, okay, well, we got to up our safety game. Right. And so the next year, what did we do? We took a table and put it sideways in front of it.
A plastic table, which I would think slow it down at least.
Oh yeah, but it'll probably just hit and go backwards
the other way,
land on a home or something like that.
Well, yeah, it kept getting bigger.
Yeah.
And I remember one year, there was a lot of people in my yard. It was just some people we didn't even know.
There's probably 40 or 50 people on your front yard, front lawn, essentially, lighting these things off, kids running everywhere.
And they're close. It was
close.
We're 30, 40 feet away from them. Yeah. And it's the typical big preloaded boxes, but definitely do some damage to you if it fell over or something like that. So that kept growing. And then we had the idea of go into a community area in our subdivision. Right. Out by the water. Yep. So it's cool setup. Yeah. And honestly, it's a ton safer. So it's farther away from all the people. We have a big open area to shoot off from. There's no houses right beside. It's a really perfect setup. And then there's water, so it looks really cool with the reflection. Mm-hmm. And so we just kind of did it the first year. This was 4 or 5 years ago, I think, or 3-4 years ago. I can't remember.
Yeah, out by the pond.
Yeah. So we did it out there, and everybody loved it. It was the most people we'd ever had. Maybe 100 people showed up or something like that. Mm-hmm. And shot off a ton of fireworks. Different shooting locations, so we spread them out a little bit, and then got some buzz. So then the next year we're like, all right, let's go all out this time. Yep. So that was a couple years ago, and it caused a bit of a
an upstir in the HOA.
Yeah. All of a sudden the HOA is interested in this, and I guess they could have the right to be. That's kind of their job. But so the HOA got involved, but they worked with us, and we went and we got a permit from the fire department. Like, they came out on 4th of July and inspected our setup and the site. We had to go through an inspection.
Firework inspection.
I mean,
passed.
It's not like we do this for a living, but we had it set up pretty legit. We use a wireless lighting system with electric matches. Like, it's all, we have music going, and we have this, igniter box. We can time stuff, the whole thing.
Right.
So yeah, that was 2022.
Yep.
And we did this big thing. And there was maybe a couple hundred people there. We had a food truck. We had drink trucks out there, like slushy things, like
it was awesome.
All kinds of stuff. It was huge. It was fun. Tons of people loved it. It was free. Really cool. Well, while we were tearing it down that night, we were cleaning up, a car comes like rolling up on us in the area, and dude starts getting out, and he's yelling and ticked off, and starts taking all of our pictures. Taking pictures of our license plates.
And we had a couple, I think, emails from him or something.
Yeah. Especially to the HOA. He was heavily against this.
Hates it. Hates America.
Yeah.
Hates freedom. Hates festing. Obviously he's going to hate the Freedom Fest.
Now he uses like liability. He's pulling up all these things to kind of trigger it.
He lives nowhere near.
Not even close.
Not even close. He probably couldn't even see the fireworks from his house.
Right. But he's just that guy. I don't know what kind of people these people are, but
it's a man, Karen.
Yeah, they get
and
off.
His wife was, I think, her real name actually is Karen.
It probably is,
but she acts like it.
Yeah, they get off on just being miserable, I guess, or something. Like he went to so much trouble to try to shut that thing down. I mean, he went through so much crap.
The one excuse I did hear from someone was someone that used to be on the HOA that came out to meet with the fire marshal for the inspection. Mm-hmm. And he's like, this all looks really good, man. Oh, thank you all for doing this. And I'm like, yeah, no worries. He's like, oh, I can't be around here though. I'm like, oh, really? He's like, yeah, I'm a vet. And he said, I just can't take the explosions. Yeah. I'm like, oh, dude, I totally understand.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a real thing, I guess. Yeah. But
there are legitimate
but he was for it though. He was out there. He's like, y'all have fun. I'm just not going to partake.
Right.
But he's not like trying to shut the whole thing down because he doesn't like it.
Right. Yeah, this guy he just didn't want it to happen.
Right.
He's just ticked off. But yeah, he came out that night. He's going to sue us, and
he's taking pictures of us.
Took pictures. Calling the police. Oh yeah, I didn't know. I could not. It was dark, by the way. It was pitch black. They were
so mad because the HOA at that one, the HOA wasn't 100% behind it. They just let it happen again. And he thought that the HOA said you can't do it.
Right.
But what the HOA said was we're not going to sponsor this. But y'all have fun.
Right.
We're not going to say like this is a community event with the HOA. So he came out and he thought that we were breaking the law or something like that, which whatever, dude. And he was taking pictures of us. I was like, dude, I'm like, why? I talked to him. I said, what are you doing, dude? Like, why don't you come and enjoy, bro?
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's polluting and everything. We're cleaning everything up. We're not polluting anything, dude. It's fine. It's completely fine. We're all having a great time, and just come and enjoy, or just stay home. Why you have to try and be up in our junk?
Yeah.
They didn't say. Typical Karens don't say much. They show up and they try to use other tools to mess with you. Right. They'll never do it themselves.
Right.
They will get the police department. They'll get the fire department. They'll get the HOA board. They don't use their own power. They try and use it from other people.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean,
there's two types of people in the world. People that want to be left alone and people that won't leave you the hell alone.
Yeah.
And it was
that. Yeah, it's, again, I mean, to have that kind of life, he's also the guy that rides around and points out that your bushes are too short and that kind of thing and turns you into the HOA, and it's just his life. That's just what he does.
Right.
So this was probably like a Super Bowl event for him. Like, loved it. But anyway, it happened. Well, last year we're going even bigger.
Yeah.
Because we had food truck, like we're going all out.
Yep.
And then we get word that we got the axe.
Yeah.
Same guy. And our HOA was overtaken by other board members who they weren't even voted on. There's an
HOA takeover. We can talk about it. We can talk about it when we do it.
Yeah, but it didn't happen last year. It got shut down.
We got shut down.
We had everything. We had bought tons of fireworks. We have stuff set up, food, everything's going to happen. It got shut down. We fought it. We tried so hard to make it happen because we were outnumbered by our HOA government, basically.
Who were a bunch of Karens at the time.
Couldn't make it happen. So we kind of just let it pass last year. We took an L. We did. But we regrouped. We did. And now, here we are. It's happening. So we'll do a big thing. It's happening again. We'll take a bunch of video. I'll show you all our setup. It's pretty legit. We got music. We got, QSys is going. We got automated sounds. We have, I'll do lights. I'll work on a speech. I'll do another freedom speech. Tons of fireworks, obviously. Yeah. Fireworks, the stations, the programming of it. Like, we'll try and document it all, and we'll show you all. There's a lot to it. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, we did have to get a permit again. We have to have an inspection again. Yeah. We haven't been in contact with the sheriff department to let them know. Yeah. Like, the HOA is here. They're good this year. We're the only, in that 1 year, we were one of 2 permits pulled in all of. The other one was like the city. The city of Palmetto, which he compared ours to and said ours was way, way, way cleaner and safer. How is that possible? I mean, I was just set up legit, man. I know, but that just blows my mind. I know. But, and then here we are. Here we have some Karen dude trying to shut it down. By the way, Karen dude is still here, and he is very much agitated and fighting as we speak. So we'll see how this plays out. He may show up again. We'll get some video. If he does, let's get some video for the pod. We should interview him for the pod. Yeah, let's interview him. Why do you hate America? Yeah. Why do you hate freedom? Why won't you leave me alone? Yeah. That would be amazing. He'd get so ticked off. Yeah. Shove a microphone in his face. Right. Anyway. Okay. Well, yeah. Let's do that in a week or two after July 4th. Yeah. But so yeah, today Infocomm. Let's jump into it. Let's run to our sponsor. You want to jump to a sponsor? Sure. They're paying us money. I know. They're sending us all these checks. They're saying it's the only way this podcast happens. They're saying, listen, we need you to do more podcasts because we're getting so much business. Yeah. I'm exaggerating, people. CROWNCAST coming your way.
AVL systems are great when they work and a nightmare when they don't. Well, we've come up with a solution for when they don't. CROWNCAST is our subscription-based service program where you get 24/7 support, 24/7 critical system monitoring, and a host of other goodies. If you're interested in CROWNCAST, please give us a call or contact us through our website.
And we're back.
Thank you, CROWNCAST.
Oh, yeah.
Once again, if you don't know what CROWNCAST is, if you didn't watch that video that just literally played, you can go to crowncare.help and get help anytime. You can schedule an emergency call, and we'll call you within a half hour and fix your AV crap, whatever's going on. And or you can, we can build up a whole subscription thing for you. So 24/7 monitoring of all your critical equipment, networks, all that stuff. If it goes down, if a piece of equipment goes down, we know it before you. We can fix it. It's like AV insurance in a way. And listen, it happens all the time.
It's great.
It's not like your house burning down. It's like happens once.
Right.
I don't know.
Once if never.
Yeah, once and never. We're talking AV technical equipment here that breaks constantly.
Yeah, weekly. Never ends.
It's too much. So it's a big thing. So yeah, if you want it, we got it.
Check it out.
So okay, Infocomm 2024.
Let's set the scene.
Yeah, tell them what it is.
People that don't know what Infocomm is.
Yeah.
You probably heard of like Comic-Con and like those other kind of big conventions.
You thought nerds were at Comic-Con. Yeah. Oh, you haven't been to Infocomm, bro.
This is Nerd Fest. I'm telling you what. We've been to a lot of them. We've been to them. Before Crown, we were going to them when we were on staff at church. Just to see new stuff. All right. So this is a global event. We should say it is a global event. It's not just in the United States. People come from all over the world to come to Infocomm, and it happens once a year, every other year in Vegas. Some years, every other year in Orlando. Right. Orlando one's nice for us because then it's close.
Yeah, let's drive.
It is a massive convention center. You couldn't even call it a convention center. It's like an indoor city kind of thing. Right. I mean, I don't know what the square footage is on this, but I think the one in Vegas is one of the largest, if not the largest one in the country, I think. as far as square footage goes.
It would take you a half hour to walk from one side to the other.
Oh yeah, easily. I mean,
per
pod, basically.
It's like a half hour walking inside of one building, and then you'd walk 15 to 20 minutes to the next building, and then you could walk a half. So it's miles. You're walking miles.
It's insane. It is like its own little city.
Yep.
And the rooms are huge, and then they pack these things with booths for AVL companies
and nerds.
Booths and nerds. I'm telling you, and it's just row after row after row after row after row, as far as you can see. Literally as far as you can see. Audio, video, lighting,
network,
any kind of new network or tech stuff going on.
Yep.
If some new company's coming out with this new tech or whatever, like it'll be at Infocomm.
Yep.
Everyone's talking about, did you see the whatever?
Yep. Demos. There's demo rooms everywhere.
That's right.
Manufacturers will have, they set up special demos, which one I went to and we'll talk about.
Yeah.
They'll rent out a venue, a casino venue or theater, and typically they're already installed. Like, they have a system installed.
Right.
So like I went to L Acoustics Elisa demo, which was at the World of Resorts theater.
Yeah.
Which is the same place where they had the Katy Perry show.
That's right. And
they have an Elisa K2 rig in there. So I got to go in there, and I'll go over it here during the podcast. But yeah, they'll have demos everywhere. If a manufacturer has an install somewhere, they'll bring them out there. Look this is our LED wall, or look at our LED building.
Yeah,
like that's what
we've brought a lot of clients to this too, especially if it's in Florida.
Right,
it's an easy place for someone to go and see tons of equipment at one time.
Right,
instead of having to go to a showroom for some lighting down in Miami and you only see lighting, you can go to Infocomm and see anything you want. Right. Put your hands on it, hear it, see it, touch it, the whole thing. Ask questions. All the reps are there. Everybody from the companies. The AV world almost shuts down during Infocomm. It's ridiculous. We can't order anything. It's kind of annoying, actually.
Yeah, it's like Chinese New Year. Yeah. It's like Chinese New Year. You can't get any products because all the products are from China.
Right.
And they all shut down. And then Infocomm, every manufacturer is like, sorry, couldn't get to this
Oh,
email because it's we're 2 weeks out from Infocomm.
I think they use it as an excuse a lot.
We do too.
It's the week leading up to it. I'm getting ready for Infocomm. Then they're at Infocomm. Then they're recovering from Infocomm the week later.
Yep. There's definitely an Infocomm hangover. Like your legs are burning.
Oh, the miles you put on, the amount of talking you're doing, schmoozing, the whole thing.
I literally think I tore my meniscus at Infocomm one year. I tore it on day 1, couldn't walk day 2, couldn't go to the conference, went day 3.
That's right.
So, and then
I remember.
Then I had surgery. So there you go. Infocomm took out a knee here.
I remember. Yeah, so it's crazy. I mean, and you'll have integrators there like us. You'll have other just companies go there just to see stuff, like we said. We'll see a lot of church groups there. They come in, maybe they're building a building or something, and they come see stuff.
Right.
And then like all the reps and all the people that work at the companies.
Yep.
And we used to go there to schmooze people. Like when we were first starting off, we were trying to get set up as a dealer for a manufacturer or something. We knew they'd be at Infocomm, so we would go there and specifically try to go to that booth. We couldn't get a meeting with them because you have to be kind of somebody to set meetings, but you can show up at the booth and just try to talk, try to work your way in, tell them you're a new integrator, you're trying to become a dealer so you can, sell the products and the whole thing. Right. So we did that at the beginning.
It was like interviews. It was like job interviews for us to become dealers, and it makes sense. I get it now.
Yeah, I get
it now.
Some were surprising. They're like, "Come in this room with us." You sit down. It was truly like an interview. We're like, "What did we just step into here?"
Yeah.
But so there's a bunch of that going on. Now we get schmoozed when we go.
Well, this time it was a little bit more of an interview too because of this the new business venture. So it was like. It was a bit of a thing, but it was really good.
Typically, we are schmoozed at this point.
Yeah. There's some medium schmoozing going on this time.
Yeah. So tons of swag. Everybody has swag, and they're giving you stuff. Your pockets are always packed full of crap or
Not
necklaces.
Me. I'm baller status. Yeah. If it's for free, I don't want it.
Once you've been enough times, you learn to ignore the swag.
Audrey was my helper, and she brought a little backpack, and she had like the iPad in it and all my business cards, and we had a whole little setup because I was doing this pitch for this new venture. And so at a certain point of my conversation, she knew to get out the iPad. She would have it all prepped with all the folders and everything, all the web pages, and then have the cards ready. She's taking notes. Like, it was a whole thing. It was like a little husband, wife.
It's like having an assistant.
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah.
She was like the only woman there.
That's the other thing I was going to bring up.
And she's beautiful, so I'm watching all these nerds drool all over her. I'm like, oh, this might work.
You rarely see females at this place for some reason, unless some booth just decided to hire like a bunch of chicks to stand out in front of their booth and try to draw people to them.
That's the only time.
That's what's going on here.
People thought that's what Audrey was.
you grabbed her from a booth or something, she's following you around.
She's too pretty for Infocomm.
I don't know why that is, but it is very
it's a male dominated. It's a male dominated industry. It's nerdy. It's tools. Like, AV equipment is tools.
Right.
If you think of like sound, it's like controlled explosions.
Right.
Which guys like. Guys like big explosions.
Fireworks. We've already talked 20 minutes about it.
Fireworks is just sound with light. But it's very, I don't know. You see them. You see women there.
There's
but it's just
some
not
there. But it is 95% male.
It's usually a pretty girl at the front of a booth.
Exactly, yeah.
It's like, I get what you're saying. I get what you're doing here.
Yeah.
I want anything part of it. Leave me alone.
That's right.
Show me the nerds. They know more.
That's Infocomm.
Yeah.
And it's massive. And you could spend days there. Usually when we go, we'd spend 2 or 3 days. Mm-hmm. When it's in Florida, we usually just go for a day and walk it and be done. But if you go to Vegas, you probably stay there a couple of days like you guys did. And you could stay busy nonstop for days there. It never ends.
And Vegas is the perfect place for it, man. Because it is like the integrator capital of the world.
Right.
Maybe. I mean, Dubai or someplace in China maybe has more, or like Shanghai or something. But as far as like the stuff that we do, it's done probably the best on earth in Vegas, I think.
The amount of like theaters and rooms they have there that are just packed with this stuff already, and they sound so, everything looks and sounds so good.
Amazing shows. Yeah, top of the line. LED walls everywhere. It's like you get used to seeing them.
Right.
And then you just you stop even noticing them.
Right.
Like, you'll be in a mall and there'll be some massive, 40 by 10 LED wall with like ads for the stores around it, and you don't even notice it anymore.
Right.
Because like outside there's literally a building that has LEDs all over it.
Right.
And you're like, whoa.
Yeah,
then you really get to become a stickler about it, like us. I mean, we know about it.
Right.
So we're like, yeah, that one doesn't look as good. And yeah, this one looks great. Oh yeah, this one, this and that. Right. Was that Brompton? Oh, is that Nova Star? Oh, get all weird about it. But it's the place to be.
I mean, it's a good place just to go too, with the food, and you can see a show and everything too.
Yeah.
Better than Orlando, I think.
Yeah, I saw we went to the Sphere, which we'll talk about, and I went to Michael Jackson 1. Right. Which was really good.
Yeah.
We can talk about that too. I don't know if I have any pictures of it, but sounded great. I mean, I'll just tap my foot the whole time. Like, the music sounded good. Like, my takeaway from the show was that Michael Jackson was the 90s dude. And I guess he was 70s, 80s, and 90s, really.
Because he was a kid, yeah.
Most of what I remember was, I think, the 90s being completely formed by him. Yeah. Like,
for sure.
He was such a weirdo. Listen, I think I don't know. What do you think?
I think a lot of people think the same thing.
I think he was off, dude. I think he did some rough stuff.
Yeah.
Forget all that.
Right.
I mean, it's hard to forget all of it, especially when you're sitting there, and then some of the things that he'd say during it, like, children are the this or that of the world. Right. I'm like, are they now?
Well, and everyone's thinking the same thing, obviously.
Everyone's like, that meme, looking backward.
Still a musical genius.
Yeah, and you know what? He did it his own way. You got to kind of put it in context. Like, we've gotten so used to watching Michael Jackson, like, we get it. Yeah, he's moonwalking, he's doing the dances, and he's doing the whole thing. But man, the melodies, the harmonies, the song structure, and then the guy never stopped moving.
Right.
He just constantly, every word is like moving. It's like, where'd that come from? It's like it's like watching a little child. Once again. Maybe that's part of it. I don't know.
I mean, no one was doing what he did. That sound didn't exist. It is completely original.
Yeah. Thriller holds up still.
I know, yeah. So, all those his beats and his rhythms and
but
stuff.
But the engineering, unbelievable.
Yeah, did you see that? There's a documentary on We Are the World on Netflix. Have you seen it?
Mm-mm.
I forget what it's called. Dang it, I should have. Something about pop.
Quincy produced it, right? He produced that song, right?
And Lionel Richie.
Oh, they both did.
Lionel Richie did it. He was the main guy.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. But that, you should watch it. It's all original footage is what it is of the night that they recorded that song. And it's pop stars galore that all came from the Grammys. Right after the Grammys. They were there all night recording. Egos everywhere. Yeah. Everyone's in the same room. Right. They're all superstars. Right. And they're trying to sing their parts, and there's live footage of all of it. And a bunch of them are really good. Cyndi Lauper's in there. It's just nuts, man. Like, it's really cool to watch. But then, like, Michael does his part on it, and blows it out. It's different. Sit in awe.
He's different.
Yeah, he just freaking nails it, man. And his rhythm and his everything is so perfect. Everyone's just watching it and all of him.
I remember that there's that other documentary of the tour. He was doing a tour, and then before he died, remember? Yeah. The tour didn't happen but they had the whole documentary of them building it. It looked amazing. Yeah. It was going to be crazy. There was a point in that documentary where he's talking to, I believe, the piano player who's actually the MD for the band.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he's talking about a song, I forget what song, but it's like a song we all know.
Right.
It's Michael Jackson. It's a song we've all heard a billion times. And he's going, no, it's like this. And he's talking and saying when the notes change in the rhythm.
Yep.
And like the piano player, who's probably one of the best musicians on earth,
right,
is like, oh yeah. And he starts playing it. And I'm like, that's it.
Right.
That's it. I mean, I know the song. That's it. And he goes, no, it's like this.
Yeah.
And he started changing it a bit. I'm like, what is Michael saying? I'm like, is he off? Like, what's going on here? He's like, no, it's like this. And then you listen to the song, and you're like, oh my goodness, I never really noticed that little half beat before the note hit or something. Yeah. Michael Jackson was completely on, 100% correct. This elite MD musician,
right,
who was probably getting paid unbelievable money to run that band.
Yep.
Missed that.
Yep.
Wild, right? That's how his ear was. He had an ear.
Yeah. I talk about the rhythm and stuff he has all the time. It is so noticeable if you listen for it. And he made lots of those beats, most of those beats in his songs, like he came up with that. Yeah. But even like when he's tracking his vocal, how perfectly on it is, right, timing wise, is pretty awesome. Yeah. To watch.
It was fun to watch and remember, like.
Did they have a live band there?
No, it was
tracked.
It's all tracked. It's all tracked. Dance. It's just dancers. It's kind of a weird little story. You're trying to make sense of it. It's almost like a callback to the '90s. It's like these four like troublemaker kids that like go into a Michael Jackson world. Yeah. And then they're like in this little world, and there's these. I mean, honestly, the whole time I'm like, who wrote this thing, and who said, yeah, let's do that, because it's out there. You know, I'm like, but it's very creative. Yeah. But yeah, it's mostly just playing through the music, and then it's a Cirque show. So it's Cirque du Soleil. Yeah. So it's acrobatics. It's a bunch of crazy set pieces. A lot of projection mapping. Big scrim. They have a big scrim that they do a bunch of stuff on. Yeah. Which was kind of interesting. I'd love to know more about how they do that. At the end, when I was walking out, I noticed there's 9 projectors. A 9-stack projector shooting on the scrim, and I was like looking up at it, and I was looking at the scrim, and I could see different colors coming from different projectors. I don't know if they broke that up or how would you do that? So I don't know. I think it might be an older system to do that. But
I think the show's been there for a while. That one has.
It's been a while. Yeah. But it holds up. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's a really good show. So it's fun to go to.
The Greatest Night in Pop. That's the documentary. The Greatest Night in Pop. It's on Netflix. You should watch it.
Do you remember that?
I just looked it up.
Oh, you texted in? Yeah. I didn't see you. I'm losing it, people. All right, you want to see some stuff?
Yeah, let's look at it.
Y'all want to go internet? Yay. Okay. Here we go. So first off, just walking around, like there's LED walls everywhere. Right. So like that looked amazing. It's on the side of a building. Like this is everywhere. This is everywhere. which is so much fun for me because I'm just like, oh my goodness, I can't.
Yeah, and probably So this stuff is there regardless of Infocomm. This is just Vegas.
This is just Vegas.
Yeah,
and it's everywhere. I think that's the same wall, but like, look at this. This is being built right now.
Yeah, it's an LED wall. That's nuts.
That's a massive tower. That's going to be 100% LED wall.
That's crazy,
right? And it's sides, front, sides, and back, all for this. I think that's a casino.
Yeah, Aria.
Yep. You can kind of see the scaffolding. Imagine the power management. All that is so that you can, like, you know, the scaffolding. You can. It has to be structurally sound. Obviously,
yeah, I was going to say structurally that's got to be legit,
right? And that thing is probably only maybe 20 feet wide or deep. 20 feet deep. So it's whatever wide here, you know, 40 feet. It's only like 20 feet. It's really skinny.
So that's not a building. You can't. No, you don't go in there and eat or something.
This is just literally just on the outside
an LED tower.
This is outside the casino, and it's going to be their new advertising for the casino.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And they must make money. I mean, the advertising, whatever that costs for something to be on it, is probably pretty wild. But it's kind of cool to see this, all the scaffolding and trussing, because obviously you'd have to be able to service an LED wall this size.
Yeah, so that's just that scaffolding all stays. That's how they get up and down through.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, that's what they're installing the panels on.
Yeah,
and so they had some rigging out there, and it was cool to see. Yeah. So I mean, do you want to keep going on LED walls? I've kind of got a couple things here I can show you for LED walls. It's just an example. I think this is Christie.
0.9 millimeter.
Yep. I tried to get up close and show what that might even look like.
That's like,
I did that on every LED wall I saw, by the way. So that's a 0.9 4K image. I mean, listen, my phone is not going to pick it up correctly. So this is it's not the greatest way of showing off an LED wall. You got to see it in real life, but it gives a little bit of an idea of what this stuff is.
They've come I mean, we've talked about it before on here, but I mean, how far these walls have come, these panels.
Unbelievable.
How you can get a 0.9. That would be like millions of dollars a few years ago.
Right.
It would be millions of dollars to do something like that.
Yep. They keep getting better and better looking. And like every year, it's like the new pixel pitch for the same price type thing. It just comes down. So you're getting tighter and tighter pixel pitches.
Yep. Better resolutions.
Right. Okay. So
I saw those.
Yeah. That's a one-off thing. Okay. So in LED world, in Infocomm LED world, this is what I saw this year. Everyone had curved LED walls. That was the thing.
Yeah.
Like there's two things that I saw at Infocomm that like everyone just was doing the same thing. One of them was curved LED walls. Everyone's like, hey, look at our brand new curved LED wall. When you start hearing that from every single manufacturer, like, well, I guess China figured it out and everyone's buying it now.
Everyone's grabbing it.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of cool.
I mean, it is cool.
Yeah. I mean, that's, you can put ads on that. So this is another revenue maker if you're a club or if you're a venue and you want to put ads on that. That could be a place for your drinks.
Right.
A cooler, or it could be a trash can and still have ads and say recycle here or whatever. I mean, it's kind of a cool idea. Like the content you can put on is very, very interesting. Look at this, more curved LED walls, all about the curve. This one is a curved corner, which, you do your graphics so that it ends up looking like,
right.
It ends up looking like it's cut out of the wall.
Right.
See that?
Yeah.
That looks like it's cut out, but it's not. It's just the LED wall, curved LED wall, which I love that.
Yeah,
I think that's cool. Yep. So stuff like that. Okay, so now more manufacturers are doing this, the actual moving LED wall stuff. The first place I saw this was Times Square, New York. They had it right, the corner building thing right in the middle of Times Square.
Yep.
I think it was Coca-Cola. I don't know. I don't know how that works. I guess they have other sponsors too, but I remember it just being a Coca-Cola thing and they move it around.
Yeah, like squares.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I mean, that's just a visual eye candy thing, really.
Yeah.
It does. I guess you get a little bit of you can see. I mean,
but you know what I think? Service.
I'm just
those things are going to break. Whatever whatever, it's just going to be a thing, man.
LED walls already are kind of service heavy. You're changing out modules all the time and that kind of thing. Now you're adding multiple little motors in here. I mean, it's cool, but...
And you can kind of get that effect with images on a nice wall. And in fact, I'll show you one. The best looking wall I saw, I'll show you eventually. Oh, there's a lot of transparent LED walls. So that was kind of cool.
And those have kind of been around, but they've always been really big pixel pitch.
Right.
It really it looked like Super Mario, anything you watched on it.
Right.
Now you can tell just by that, those are getting smaller too.
Yep. Yeah, there's a bunch of them. That was a wall inside the conference center.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Pretty cool, eh?
It's a big wall.
Yep. This is an Absent wall, so this is like kind of like a control room screen, obviously. So a big pixel map control room screen. It was really good side angle viewing. You know, obviously, because if you're sitting at a computer here, but you have to, you're in NASA and you have to look at where the shuttle's going or whatever. Right. I'm dating myself here. You're Elon Musk. You're about to launch, Falcon Heavy, and you want to see it from over there. Use one of these screens. So that was an Absent panel.
0.7. That's tight.
Yeah, it looked good. I'm just taking some picture of their
ground
stacking, waiting for some idiot to come climb it or push it over. Yeah. Hey, look at our new curved LED wall. They've had it for a while. They've had curved stuff for a while, but I was seeing some pretty heavy curves. I was seeing.
You could always kind of curve square panels.
Yeah.
It wasn't ever like a nice curve. Now that trash can thing, that's like an actual curved panel.
I think the curves right now are you can get about a 6 foot diameter circle. That's about as tight as it can get.
Right.
But it looks better than any. You don't see any seams and stuff. It looks really good.
Right.
So I don't know. That was just kind of a cool LED wall thing. Like, look at this. We can put a cube together. I like it.
Yeah, it's cool.
Oh boy.
There they are.
There it is.
That brings you stress if you are
I literally said
an integrator at all.
You saw my finger pop up there. Yep. That was me going, Audrey, this is the story of my life. Actually, not my life really, but I don't do the mapping.
Yeah, that's typically the mapping software. That's the background. That's the guts behind making a wall work with all the pieces and spitting video out in the right places. So you got to map it a certain way.
Yep. Yeah, so I saw that. I just laughed. I'm like, uh-oh.
Yep.
Here's another mover. I mean, that's a pretty big moving one. This one looks really good. But look at that.
I mean, yeah.
But it's kind of viewing angle. If you're right in front of it, you don't know it's moving.
Right.
It has to be kind of on a side angle. I think it's cool. It's a cool idea, but I don't know.
That's cool when it does a bunch of pieces like that. That's pretty cool.
I just think it's going to break down.
What that costs.
If one tile's off, it's all messed up.
That's got to be so expensive. And
actually, it's free. They're just giving them away for free.
And then you got to have that huge case for it too. I mean,
all right. So this was an awesome this was one of the coolest I saw. This is a row wall and floor. I've never seen a floor that looks this good.
Yeah, because
typically the floor looks janky.
Again, yeah. They're trying to do something that the technology is not quite there.
Yeah.
Because people stomp on it and break it. But
this looked amazing.
Yeah, that looks good.
It was like disorienting. Like when you're standing right there in the middle there, like, and you're like, whoa, it's wild. That was probably one of the coolest walls I saw there. Their walls just look amazing.
They are superior.
They're superior
products, and you pay for them. But
look at that. That's flat, so that's not moving. But you can make it look like it moving without it moving. See that?
Yeah, I was going to say I haven't seen pieces like that before. So that's just an LED wall.
That's just that's a graphic. That's a video just making it look like that. And when the wall looks good enough, it just gives the effect anyways.
Yeah, that's them trolling all those other people that build these things. They're like, look, you just need a regular wall.
Yep.
Put the graphic on it.
So that's that same wall I was just standing on. But look at it, man.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yep. It really did. I loved it.
They hung that just on a straight pipe.
So it had like a bit of a canvas on it.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But I'm telling you, it was different than other walls I've seen. That was a kind of cool little.
Oh, that's a little stand.
A stand, LED wall stand. I think that's kind of cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, if you can't get a display big enough, you just do that.
These are the kind of things you see at Infocomm.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that looks cool.
This is the wall.
Oh.
So this is it Panasonic? It's got to be.
I believe so, yeah.
This is their
it's either that or Samsung.
residential. I mean, it's tight, bro. It is tight pixel pitch.
That's made for the wealthy guy that wants an LED wall in their house.
I mean, if I could do it,
like a TV. Look at that.
Just make your wall an LED wall.
That's a cool mounting
That's
system.
the rigging. So you build this into the wall for framing, and then obviously the modules connect to different parts on that.
That's cool.
Yeah. And that's the wall. That was a really cool experience there.
How they did the water around the doors.
Yep. It almost looked like projector mapping, which they had a good amount of projector mapping. Christie always does it.
Right.
A couple other companies did it. I've got some video of it, some really cool ones. But now you can just do this and you create a build. I mean, there's no building there, right? That's just a wall.
Right. So
you can create a building instead of just projector mapping on it.
Yeah.
Someone probably thought I was like autistic. I kept going up and touching. What's with that dude? The wall. Here's Thor's new.
Cool.
Thor's new panel. I forget what it's called.
Look how they rigged that. I guess that works.
Yeah, they. What is this one called? Do you remember? There's an email like the other week, last week or something like that.
I don't remember.
It looked good. Looked great. The rigging in the back is awesome. Let's see. Oh, yeah. I only got one shot of it. But yeah, the walls look amazing. The hardware on the back, they do a good job. They they're smart guys, so they're like, all right, I know, we get it. Everyone has an LED wall. Let's make sure that's like it's proper, it's done right. It's not going to give us a headache. And they think about the integrators. Yeah. And it was a really good looking wall. Here's a new headset coming soon from Thor. This is a brand new headset. They have a single ear, and this is going to be their double ear, their integrated double ear. And it's both ways. So you can just grab it, like he showed me, and it kind of blew my mind. He's like, "Oh yeah, you want on your left ear? Okay. Oh, you want on your right ear now? You just grab it and go like this, and it like the ears swap. It's just like it kind of twists on itself, and then it's in the right orientation. But yeah, it's comfortable. I haven't heard it, but I'm sure it'll sound great. I actually talked to them about the capsules, whether or not they're going to do like a cardioid capsule. Yeah. Or I'm like, if you do cardio, have you tried it? Is it noisy? Because that's our whole thing, right? So every time we've played around with headsets, if the polar pattern's cardioid, it's mechanically noisy just because of the physics of that capsule.
Yeah.
So it's like every little movement you hear.
Lots of ticks.
Right. So I asked them, like, have you tried it? Like, yeah, we tried it. I'm like, was it loud? They're like, yeah. I was like, it's just a thing, dude. It's a physics. I'm like, dude, you can't change physics in reality. They're like, no. So that's a new product coming out in the next couple months. I forget the name. Sorry, guys. But yeah, it's cool. Okay, yeah, here's the Thor wall. You can look at the back here.
Those are big panels.
Yeah. And it has these crossbars.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro. You're going to have people climbing that like a ladder, dude. I mean, you were going to end up on AV Rigging Disasters Facebook page. Some dude climbing up.
Check a cable real quick.
Yeah.
Climb up that thing.
I'm not endorsing this, but they did say that it is rated for 300 pounds, holding a 300-pound person.
Look at the size of that panel. It's huge.
Yeah. It's their XL.
Terra.
There it is. Yep. Terra. And they're coming out with two versions, I think, an XL size and a square size. But it looked great. Looked good. And they're coming out with a new version of their older one, too. I forget what the Ridge. They came out with a new Ridge V2. I don't know if I have video of it. No. Okay, hey, so this, I don't know if you can see this here, but this is a transparent LED wall in front of another transparent LED wall in front of an LED wall. We are Inception here.
So it makes it like 3D-ish, or it makes it kind of feel like 3D or something?
Yeah. It's Inception. Leonardo DiCaprio popped out of this 3 layers in. So you can kind of see as I walk to see the perception.
Yeah. Cause
it gave a really cool look. You had the see-through, which was very see-through at a very tight pixel pitch.
Yeah.
And then you saw it on the second layer and in the back.
Huh.
So storefronts, if you're selling products on a storefront, like Rolex should get stuff like that. So you have your Rolex watches on the stands or whatever.
Right.
You put the LED wall in front of it and behind it, and then you try and like do ads around it. Like, look at this one. Like, this is our new Submariner or whatever. But it looked really good.
People got to start doing something like this. I mean,
yeah,
LED wall used to be the thing.
Yep.
Now it's everywhere, so they got to start doing stuff with the LED walls. New applications. That's kind of cool.
I was trying to
for ads and stuff. It would be really cool.
Yeah, it's hard to see it on here, but you get it right.
Yeah.
That was a cool one. Another transparent LED wall. It gives it an effect of 3D in a way because it just looks like it's floating there. That one looked really good. Ooh. I mean, this one, some of these walls you walk by and it just it takes your breath away.
Looks like a straight up TV.
Yep.
Or real life almost.
Yep. And some autistic kid came up here and put his finger on the wall again. But it was tight, brother.
Ooh, yeah, it's tight.
Yep. Looks really good. Some of these walls are getting really good. And then, you know what, though? It kind of shows you the older technology, whether it's the contrast, the black, even the plastics that they use, the contrast, the LEDs, the processing. When you have a good wall like this, and then right beside it, you have a subpar or an older one, you go,
can really see
and
it.
even if it's the same pixel pitch, you're like,
yep, and you can see it.
You can see it. Okay. So those are LED walls. That was a huge thing. Was these curved LED walls was the big thing, the takeaway. Let's jump into moving on from LED walls.
Yeah.
Any questions?
I mean,
is it like you were there?
It's what I expected, I guess. Pixel pitches a lot smaller. Color looking better.
Right.
Pricing cheaper.
Yep.
That's the thing.
That's it.
So, kind of no sense in. Well, I don't know how to say no sense, but you should, if you're looking for some kind of video upgrade or whatever, LED wall needs to be very high up on your list at this point.
Yep. It's just the way to do it now.
I mean,
and
many different applications and options and price points and everything. So
I'm sorry, projectors.
I know.
Your time has come. We're getting close.
I can't imagine when they got to be getting close. Yeah.
Yep.
It's really just disappearing.
All right, moving on. I don't know what order this stuff's going to be in, but this is American DJ stuff. Okay, so this is kind of something cool that they're showing me.
Wireless something?
Yep, new wireless DMX, and it's different. It's I forget what the protocol's called, RDI or area. It might be, it's their area line, but I forget what they call the proprietary communication.
Yeah.
But it's legit. So it's a new wireless communication of DMX across products, and as you see, let me see here. There's an app. So now it's almost like networking them. Look at this. So all your fixtures pop up on an app, and you can do minor things to your fixtures via an app just because it's wireless.
That's cool.
Yeah. So kind of a cool concept. The specs on this stuff were pretty intense. I think they have a transmitter that they show. I'll show a picture of it. That outside it would go like 3 miles.
Crazy.
Yeah.
RDM, is that what it was?
RDM.
So that's for like, making changes on your fixtures wirelessly.
There it is.
Pretty cool.
Right.
If you forget your address, if you need to change an address or a channel mode or something like that, typically you can do it. RDM has been a bit of a hassle, honestly, it's kind of hard to make work correctly, and you kind of have issues. But maybe this is something that makes it easier.
Right. I mean, this is the IP rated version.
Look at those. I mean, look at those things, man.
That's what she said.
What the heck? Holy crap.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, well, I feel insignificant. But yeah, that's wild. Here's some more distros from.
Look at that little thing.
Yeah, it's a little truss. I was like, what form factor is that? Like, oh, it mounts right to a truss. Yeah. I was like, oh, that's cool.
That is cool.
So these are wireless transmitters, receivers for the area line. For different types of applications. If you're going to put one somewhere. Here are some fixtures from them. I forget what this fixture's called, but it's a new line by them, I think. And they came out, and it has a black backing, so you don't see the white behind it. See that?
Yeah, that's nice.
So if you put it on stage, it just disappears. Right. I love that.
Yeah.
So forget about these white, you can see down here the white diffusers.
They glow, man.
It's like a black diffuser.
Yep.
And looked really good. So I like that.
That's cool.
This is a new Proteus. And listen, lighting is not my thing, so maybe speak up if you can.
That's a super bright mover.
Yeah, and it was hitting lime there.
I mean, look at that.
It was just flexing lime.
Yeah.
Flexing lime in there. Apparently it's fanless. That's my takeaway. Once again, I'm not a lighting dude. That's Dustin from Freed. I
mean, that's LED too, so in the past, to get that kind of brightness from a mover, it had to be like a lamp, and it would be 1,600 watts or whatever, and special power for all these things, and so many circuits. And they finally figured out ways of doing this with LEDs, which are still very bright LEDs and high wattage LEDs, but they're able to get that much power out of them. It's crazy. They're not cheap, but dang, they're bright.
Look really good, and the lime flex, I like that.
Yeah.
Going back to the other booth. Just looking at those lights.
So this is the kind of stuff you see in Infocomm.
Yeah, so for those just listening, Mom, this is like a weird AI face thing that you could talk to. It's a little slow. We aren't there yet.
Yeah.
But I was like, hey, like, hi, how are you? I'm like, I'm doing great. How you doing? I'm doing fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
One of those things.
Why is it shaped like that?
It really is staring into your soul, though. It's a little weird. It's moving around too a bit.
Yeah. I mean, and look at their booth, though. I mean,
yeah, it's a smaller booth.
This is what you see. This is what's at those shows. It's kind of cool to see this kind of stuff too.
Yep. So I don't know what that is. I don't know what called.
Look at that.
Buddy there with the computer should have came up and talked to me. You didn't. If you're a vendor out there at a booth, every single person that steps by and looks at you, you should talk to. Like the Chinese vendors, they will talk to you.
Heck yeah, they will.
I still get emails for my birthday every year from a Chinese LED wall company that I stopped by the booth for 5 seconds 8 years ago. I still get emails and thank yous for my birthday.
Yep.
Or happy birthdays. So Americans, get your crap together. If you have someone walk up to your booth, you better come over there and try and sell whatever you got. Trust me, we'll buy it.
I mean, look at that thing. I don't know about that.
Yeah. Okay, so this was kind of wild. This was a new type of thing I saw. Art Morph. It was at the Row, or Rowie or whatever you want to call it, booth. But what it is a light. It's like a light box. So I can see this being used in a bunch of cool applications. So it's a light box with like LED lights that can change orientation.
Yeah.
But it's all white, just a single diode of white. And the light box, the front part, is modular, and you print on it. So this is wood printing.
Oh, so the wood is not an LED.
The wood is not an LED. So it is just projecting the lighting through, and this, I think they said they have a double image. I don't know how they did it. I couldn't keep up. But it's a plastic wall.
Gotcha.
So look at this. These are an example of all the finishes. And here you can see, so these are a bunch of different finishes. You can get anything. We could do our face. We just have a wall of our face, which we should do for our new office. And then you can see here the LED walls behind, the LED lights behind it.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. Really great prints. Here's an example of it in the wild.
Oh, I see.
So you can see both scenarios here. So look at that. So it kind of looks like a wall, but then all of a sudden you have
You can put graphics or
moving text or whatever.
ads. Yeah.
Yeah. So, so for lobbies,
Yeah. Legit signage.
legit digital signage instead of it just being a whatever you want to call it, a printed signage or a piece of, I don't even know what the words are I'm saying. This is not my industry, but you could just have anything change or room numbers or whatever on this thing. It looked good. I can see the panels though, now that I look at it right here.
Yeah. I was going to say,
I didn't notice it as much in real life, but yeah, I get it.
That's cool though.
Yeah.
That's something new.
Yeah. Art Morph. I don't know what Kiko is. I think this was the Rowie booth, I think. That's the wall mount part of it. I think this guy stomps it out here in a second. He's like, yeah, watch this. Stomps it. You can put it anywhere. I'm like, can you put it on the floor? He's like, watch this. And just destroys it. I can't remember. So but that's an example of the light box, yeah. Okay, now we're into the number 2 thing I saw from everyone at Infocomm was conferencing stuff. It's all about conferencing. I'm sure this is all from the COVID crap.
Yeah, because of COVID.
Because of COVID. They all developed this crap for COVID. And now we're stuck with it. Well, we have all this new technology. This is what they're all showing off to are systems like this, goosenecks and boundaries and all these different types of mics and cameras, and upping the conference game by auto muting and auto moving around microphones, and then also video. So they have all these. So a bunch of companies have these processors that will, if you start talking to the mic, the camera will auto zoom to you, or the camera is wide and it'll digitally zoom into you. They have a ton of these. Everyone's got them. Everyone has their own goosenecks or whatever.
Right.
A processor to do all that, and then it's just trying to make auto conferencing a thing. That's what this is. So
that's proof how the circumstances of the world or whatever and the market reacts to them in such a way. I mean,
we get all these new products. Yeah, we should have a pandemic every year.
Right.
We'll get all these new products. Yay.
Here they are a couple years later.
So this was an Audio-Technica setup.
It is kind of cool how the video and audio would follow. I mean, that's cool.
Yeah,
for
just some boundary mics. This is kind of cool. It's a ceiling mounted microphone, but it has the Dante box. So it's PoE and then just lands in your Dante ecosystem. And then that's like a hypercardioid shotgun.
Right.
Mic, which is kind of cool. That's like a paging type thing. Once again. Yeah. That's a processor for it. Some wireless mics from them. I was just kind of taking video of everything, by the way. It looks like some weirdo. But I was looking at their products. Here's some Bluestream stuff. Bluestream's a company that does a lot of video over IP solutions. I talked to them for a while, got to see all this stuff. I don't know if they had any new stuff. They're just kind of showing their products. Right. I talked to one of their big dudes there though. He asked what features they should add, and once again, I was like, "You need
the TV on and off."
Well, we got that now.
Okay,
but we were the first to do it, obviously, because we had to get that new firmware for it. But they need like a digital signage thing.
Yeah,
they need a way of playback.
Surprising they don't do that.
I know he was actually taking notes, so we'll see.
Yeah.
So
maybe it's not as easy as we think, but
it's easy. Come on.
Seems like that'd be for what they're doing already.
Yeah.
Let's do some digital signage through it.
They totally stole Barco's.
Oh yeah, the click share thing.
Click share. Yeah. Actually, they stole it.
Kind of just like it.
Well, this is a separate company. With Bluestream is owned by, I think, a company called. Oh, I'm so bad with this stuff, man. RST or something, and it's a control company. They have a bunch of. It's like the control side of QSys. It's all control. They have touch screens, control software, kind of drag and drop type stuff. Some coding, some Lewis coding stuff. But then they have this company has that click share type thing too. Apparently you don't need any drivers. You don't have to do anything. It just goes, which is nice.
And that you basically click it, right? And then you get
it goes up on TV.
You can control the room or present.
I believe it works with a sound bar. So the sound bar connects wirelessly to that unit. So it's not just over Wi-Fi, and it's not just over, I mean, it might be Bluetooth, but whatever that is, and that's what enables you not to have a driver. I don't know. I was there for about 5 minutes. Yeah. So there's only so much I can learn. All right, Blackmagic Design. I didn't see much from them. They had a presentation scaler that came out.
Yeah, they don't really have anything brand new.
No, right? But they had all their booth. Once again, is really huge, padded carpet, keeping our feet feeling good.
Blackmagic, you should know, kind of rules Infocomm a lot, man. They're always one of the major sponsors. Their booth is gigantic.
Yep.
Like you said, padded carpet. It's like you walk into a house or something when you walk into their booth. It has better lighting and everything.
Yep. Yeah, you know the level of booth you have by the padding of your carpet.
Yeah, I mean, look how huge it is. You can look all the way across there.
Yep.
I mean,
and they have every single product. Every single product. Well, except for maybe they're like Cine recorders or something like that.
And they'll have tons of their employees there. I can't imagine. I mean, the companies, the amount of money they spend on Infocomm, it has to be insane. It must be worth it for them, I guess.
I didn't have much to talk to them about. Yeah. We're already set up with their products. We're already set up with their line for everything we do. But I'll just tell you, Blackmagic, no one came up to me. No one talked to me.
Crazy.
Maybe my wife scared them off. Too pretty. But no one came up. No nerds came up and talked to me. Try to sell me a switcher or something like that. So just throwing that out there. So yeah, they had all their switchers. I hadn't seen some of these in the wild.
That's huge.
Well, just wait.
I've never seen a Blackmagic switcher that big.
You call that big? Look at this puppy.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if I'd ever.
If you're going to invest, I don't know what that costs, but.
I don't think you should do that. I don't know how to use it. Yeah. Too many MEs. Too many. I don't know.
That's nuts.
I don't know who uses that. Maybe someone's like, oh yeah, I use that every day. I don't know. I
kind of want to look it up and see what kind of thing costs.
Yeah. So they have the cameras out. It's one of their broadcast cameras. Yeah, so they had some of their other cameras out, really nice lenses. Kind of what they did here was set up a shoot.
Right, so little actors or whatever.
Yep.
You can grab cameras and move them around and focus and play with them.
Yep, they had some models, or a model and a guy.
Blackmagic obviously has a budget for this.
Yep.
You've seen some of the other booths. They don't look like this.
Yeah, it's great to see the lenses on it too. You can really see the depth of field in that lens, and obviously you see all the settings that they have, so you can kind of make a judgment as to what the camera can do. Yeah, they look good. There's a different lens, different look, different shot. So that was that converter. I don't know much about it. Sorry, internet. You'll figure it out on your own, or unless you can screenshot this and figure it out. It looked like converters for different. Their presentation line is their interface for encoding. So I don't know what they're doing with that thing. Sorry, they never came up and talked to me about it. So, yeah. Okay, so now we're here at Canon. So I was taking a look at their new systems. They came out with a new update for their C400. And it kind of puts all the stuff that you used to have to get a back piece. Remember that thing? It's for the 300 still. You have to still do it, and it gives you network, tally, a bunch of other
connections that you need.
Right. I think it gives you sync and everything. This now the 400 has it all on it. They had a fiber back on it from what's that company called? Something Dyne? I forget. Microdyne, or I don't know.
I remember Dyne.
So bad with names, dude. But yeah, so here at Canon, we were looking at the C400. They had a bunch of their cameras all lined up on a live band, and they're playing, and you can kind of see it. And here is this is actually their PTZ controller. But what I found out was that they have some new firmware for this thing, and a great feature on these Canon cameras, on their cinema cameras and all these cameras, is that you can, on the viewfinder, you can touch to focus. So you can do a couple different things. You can choose a face to focus on, and it has like an auto face focus, or you can choose the plane of like the focal position of focus on something else. So like we've sold a bunch of Canon cameras, and so like when they're using a C70 for mobile rig, they can look on that little viewfinder and like be down a keyboard and like click on the little touch screen on a hand. Yeah, and cool. So now you're right on the hand. You're focused on the hand, and then now you see the whole keyboard. Like really cool effect, right? Yeah. Well, with this touch screen on this controller, you can do that for all the cameras that are networked to it. So even though you can't move around a C70 or C300 or whatever, you can move around the PTZs, but you can still access a lot of that menu over the network on this thing. So you can literally set up a really cool Canon system with 300s, 70s, PTZs, and control it all from here.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Another great thing too, and we know this from some of the systems that we put together, is like the C70 and the C300 have the same sensor. So it looks almost identical.
Pretty much the same, yeah.
Now, they have on their PTZs aren't full sensor size. They're not Super 35. They're like a CMOS thing. I don't know. They have a couple different models, different size sensors. Yeah. But they have a bunch of LUTs built that they use for them to make them all look the same. Like kind of helpful. Yeah. Makes our job a little easier.
Yeah, save you a bunch of time setting up.
Yep. So here they are, just showing off that controller. Actually, wait. This is okay. So this is kind of cool. There's a little feature that I'll give the internet here. These waveguides and everything. That's from this little touchscreen. So these waveguides and analyzers, video analyzers, like that. Yeah. All this stuff is actually coming from this controller. It's not coming from that monitor's legit. It probably has that in it too. It has scopes and stuff. But if you don't have a monitor that has scopes and you still you'd like to see scopes on the color, well then you can have it output off of the multi-view off that thing. And or I think they have you can do like a multi-view or program or whatever you switch to. It's a great engineering position. Yeah. Like that's all in one engineering. The Stream Deck, the almighty Stream Deck works with it, We all know that. So showing the crap. This is it. This is the 400.
I saw it, yeah.
Yep. So you can see in the back there, they're like, oh, look, now it's on here. We don't have to buy the second part. I'm like, yay. I don't have to buy an extra part to use it. So it's got time code. It's got all the jazz and network connection. You don't have to buy that secondary thing. So, and that's a full sensor, full sensor. That's like their latest and greatest camera, the 400. Look good. Melodyne? I don't know the name of that.
I was going to say, I think it's Mela something.
It's a fiberback. They have one called the silver something. I don't know. I'm so bad with this stuff. I have to look it up.
What's that dude wearing on his head?
It doesn't matter. He's an old timer piano player. He can wear whatever he wants. They played well. They had a little roll-in switcher there with it. I thought this was hilarious. Poor company.
What the heck?
We all know it. COVID.
Oh, that's right.
I was telling Audrey, I was like, I can't imagine what this company went through a couple years ago.
Yes, because we've made this joke before about them. Why would you not change your name? I don't know. What would you even do?
Well, I'm sure they had a meeting about it. Sure they did. But that's unfortunate. This is American DJ's LED wall. I forget what pixel pitch this is, but they're showing off the curve once again. And
curve panels.
That's a curving
ground stack kind of thing.
It's for both flying and ground stack. So they
can flip them upside down and use them on the ground or something?
Yep. They're fly bar you can throw on the ground for this
pretty cool.
application.
That's pretty smart.
Yep. So then you can throw it on top, and I'm like, okay, so what, you just add in the eye bolts and stuff? He's like, yeah, it just goes right in. It's got a place for it and the whole thing. I'm like, oh, cool. So that's their LED wall, curved LED wall like everyone else. You can kind of see all the articulation there. See that?
Crazy, yeah.
But it looks good, right? You don't see like a crack opening up.
That's always the biggest thing on the curves is
Yep.
these just huge spaces, because it wasn't set up for they were making square panels curve is what they were doing.
Right. Yeah.
So that's cool how they did. I was wondering how they did that.
Yeah, it flexes a little bit, if you can see that. See that? Yeah. I like it. Yes, I love technology.
Oh, she's got to sit back there behind it all day, every day.
Yep. She's like, hey, do you want to buy a curved LED wall? No, I just want to look at it. All right. We're in Allen Heath World now. Had a big meeting with them. Met with their dude. Good times.
They didn't really have anything new hardware-wise, right?
I didn't see any new hardware.
But the software thing.
Yep. So what this is an update for all their D-Lives. They have a new processor. So all new D-Lives are shipping with this new processor. I forget what it's called. But, okay, so first off, new processor, which brings a whole load of new plugins to the Surface. One of them, so here you see, this is like an amp modulator or an amp simulator or whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
But look at this.
Auto-tune.
Finally, people, we have auto-tune on the desk.
Yeah,
there it is.
Yeah.
Look at that. Vocal grid. So that's huge, man. That's huge. So they have a bunch of other vocal harmonizers, but obviously auto-tune's the biggest thing.
Right.
How many waves rigs do we sell?
Just for auto-tune.
Just for auto-tune.
Yeah.
Because it works.
Yeah.
It works.
Yep.
It can work too much though too. I mean, I like it just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little.
Helping the note, get there. If you're holding it out, But so now on the D-Lives, moving forward in a couple months or whatever, when they start shipping, they will have this new processor. Oh, this is a tube emulator. So some of the stuff that was in the D-Pack, there's some stuff in the D-Pack, but there's this is different. So you can still get the D-Pack.
Right.
Effects.
So, but you get this stuff, or you have to buy this package?
I think you get it with it. I didn't see a place for you to buy them like individually.
Either way, to have it on board to be able to get is pretty huge.
Auto-tune is pretty huge, man. Yeah. There's a couple other updates to this firmware. Something to do with the scenes. I looked at it. I didn't see anything different, but I think the scene management, which I think they should clean up a bit. Still to this day, Avid has the best.
I know.
Unfortunately, their consoles fell off the...
They did.
Though I think they have them at Sphere. I think it was Avid.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah. But, unfortunately. They're working on their scenes a bit. Okay, so it's new hardware.
Yep.
It's a new processor that they put in the D-Lives that will be shipping out the next new shipments in a couple months. If you have an older D-Live, they are selling a new processor card that can be field installed.
Yep.
So if y'all have a D-Live out there, you want the new stuff, you want auto-tune, you've had enough of listening to some bad vocals, hit us up and we'll sell you the card and come put it in for you.
Right.
So it's a bit of a thing to put it in. I looked it up a bit, I think. It's not just like the card slot. It's inside. It's interior.
Take it apart, yeah.
You got to take it apart. But we can do it. So as soon as that becomes available, any D-Live on the market can upgrade that with that card and have auto-tune.
Right. Pretty huge.
Pretty huge, man. I liked it.
Here we
go. More camera crap. And so this is data video, and they're showing they have a processor once again that moves. You see the camera changing? See it? Based off who's talking?
Oh, I got
See that?
Yep.
And so that's just a Shure MX Microflex gooseneck microphone. Oh my goodness, that was a tongue twister.
But it's just one camera though, right?
I can't remember if this is one camera or two.
That's a pretty quick switch if it's only one, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's two cameras. Oh, actually, you can only see one up there.
I only see one. Yeah.
There's only one. That's one of their little switchers, their mobile switcher. It's kind of cool, little all-in-one package. I liked it. And they're showing off a moving Michael Scott, which I think is a good play. It's a good play.
Nice.
And they have auto tracking for it. So their PTZs will auto track with it in real time. That's
the new, I mean.
That's just, everyone's doing it.
Yeah.
This one was pretty good. This is a switcher, dude.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah. It's for podiums.
Oh.
And it has, let me see. Essentially has all that, and then they put a small monitor on the side of it, essentially, so you could be running your own video, cameras, shots, everything, all from that touchscreen.
Yeah, while you're presenting.
Yeah, so you could have your laptop with the output going into it.
Yep.
With a couple cameras, and it's tracking everywhere you're walking.
Right.
And every time you go back to the podium and you click a button, like to show your presentation on the screens or whatever. I don't even know what you're doing, but it's all in one. So a small little switcher like this, kind of cool. Digico consoles. I didn't get to talk to them, so I don't know much of what's going on there. Sorry.
Nice consoles. Yep,
nice consoles. Those are some of their I/O. They obviously have that, the amazing Dante stage box.
Right.
And then they have the quantum stuff. Massive.
Beast.
Yeah. This is best of the best right here, people. So, this Digico, they're looking good, sounding good. Just didn't get a chance to chat with them.
Yeah.
I saw Ryan Sheldon there. He's always there. They're with Clang too. They have Clang integration, obviously, all that stuff. This is DPA. Talk to the DPA guys. Showing off some crowd mics, some choir mics, and a new shotgun mic, mini shotgun, which looked cool. Didn't hear it. But they are obviously known for their high-end headset microphones that sound really, really good.
Yep.
So I talked to them. We'll be having them in our next venture. This was at Elation. Yep.
I think it's
tour grade, man. That thing weighs a friggin' ton, dude. Yeah, I'm telling you, right? Big, I couldn't lift it. Yep. It's wild.
Magmatic.
Just pushing haze all day.
Yeah, you go into the lighting section at Infocomm. It's what you think.
We had a client hit us up the other day saying that they think that the haze at a venue is making them sick.
I feel like it was that hazer. Magmatic.
Maybe.
I remember seeing that in an email.
That doesn't sound right to me though. How can it make you sick?
No, because they're using the same haze fluid that we always use everywhere.
Right.
That everybody uses everywhere.
Right.
Unless you have some kind of very acute
gunk in it? Like gunk chunks?
Allergy to it for some reason. I don't know. But 99.9999% of population, I think, can just sit there and breathe that stuff. It doesn't do anything to them.
Strange, right?
It's probably more... Well, we always thought it was like a mental thing. Someone has a cough or something, and they see the haze in the room. And they're like, "Oh, it's making me cough."
They clear their throat. They're like, "Yeah, it's because of this haze.
It's hurting my throat, hurt my eyes."
Yeah, I've heard it all.
It doesn't, but
I've heard it all.
Yeah.
This is more Elation DMX controllers.
Yep.
With capture there. That's capture integration, so you can play your shows and stuff like that.
That's the Obsidian stuff.
Yep, offline.
We use their nodes a lot.
Yeah. Dustin had said something about buttons again. That's his thing. Those things. So he was talking about the buttons. One day I want to build my own light. I hate lighting so bad and the console so bad that I want to build my own lighting console. we should engineer our own lighting console that's more like a sound dude. More like an audio desk, but for lighting. Like more like that. Then I'd get on board. Until then, I'm staying away.
Yeah,
I'll leave it to you.
Consoles are. I'm not a fan of lighting consoles really at all.
You like Vista and the
software.
Software
is easier to see, but the lighting stuff gets weird. That is I don't know. You either like them or you don't, and the ones that like them, they just love them.
Right.
And they want it a certain way, and they want a certain type, and they want certain words on their buttons, and
yeah,
it's just all odd.
That's why I think the industry needs to change, I think, because Grand MA is on every rider.
Right.
I get it. Everyone's into that world. They program in that world.
Beast of a console.
Beast of a console.
You have to have a freaking degree in that stuff to make a light move if you wanted to.
You can't get them. They're a year and a half out.
Oh, correct. Yeah, that on top of it.
So you have an archaic control surface. I know the MA3, right? I know,
right.
Whatever. But it's like the old lighting consoles. And so you have that. Everyone still wants it because it's just been around forever. And you can't get them though right now. It's crazy.
Yeah, and it's hard. I mean, they're hard to use. They really are. If you love them and you want to study them and learn every single thing, then yeah, you can get fast on them for sure, and you can program really good shows. But a lot of the softwares, the good, I mean, like Vista too, is so visual. It's kind of like an iPhone or something. Like it's intuitive. You can say, I bet if I push this and move it, like it would do this.
Right.
Like Apple's kind of done that with their products.
Right.
A lot of the softwares are like that. The consoles are not like that at all. No. It's like the opposite.
Right. I've seen you program on the MA.
It's nuts.
It's like, what are you doing, Ben? Are you messing up something? You're like, no, this is...
you're doing like calculations almost. Tons of buttons to move one light, a little thing.
Yeah, what's one of their buttons called?
Please.
I love it.
Instead of return, you push please. Yeah.
On my console that I build, it's going to say, no, please. I don't know. Let's go for a different word. We'll create a brand new button for it. This is some of their distro stuff. That's a IP rated SACN switch, and they're
crazy.
And they connect via magnet, which is nice.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. You show me.
Beefy.
Yeah, see that IP? Shunk.
Yep. Show them the magnets. People like magnets.
Ooh, Obsidian. Showing off their install version of things, which I love, because this stuff's just living in a rack. It's easier just to punch down,
so much better that they did that.
Screw down on a Phoenix connector than to like terminate
every end.
Right.
Plug
it's
in.
just those ends of those cables aren't going to live anywhere else.
Right.
So I like Phoenix connectors. So we have those in a couple of our installs right now. Some eye candy stuff at Elation. Those are like individual pieces that you can put together in all these different configurations. They come with one piece of hardware to essentially connect to another piece. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Eye candy stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
There are those movers that with the black backing again. No, I like this stuff.
I mean, somebody's job's to sit there and trying to come up with new things like this.
Yeah. They need to slow down a bit. Maybe I like Martin's way of doing it a bit. They put out a quality thing, and they just kind of
do things different, and they have their staples, and they just stick with those things, and everybody loves them. Mm-hmm. Versus, ADJ is pretty notorious for just putting out tons of stuff.
But it's always like eye candy stuff.
Cheaper entry level stuff anyway, so it comes and goes.
Right. That's that Proteus again.
Yeah, it's a beast.
Showing off the fins.
Look at the beast. That thing's huge.
Fanless. Boom. Oh, look at this. Another curved LED wall. This is all the sim. Everyone was doing sim racing. Look at that
thing.
Isn't that cool? I got a bunch of stuff here. But look at that sim racing. That was a thing. Because Formula One's so popular, and I think we'll get through it. Look at this. A sphere.
Oh, my gosh.
The Flex Sphere. It looked cool.
It's pretty cool.
I mean, if you need it for something, I mean, that's the way to do it. Touching it again.
You can't help but touch the LED walls. I think everybody does it.
That part looked awesome.
Yeah, that's a cool idea.
Yep. I don't know how they
tree, man.
I didn't really look how they rigged it and stuff, but
more floors, waves.
Oh, look, the waterfall is actually, folding over the thing, right? It's kind of cool. That's another transparent. Yep. We're at Gringo.
Yep.
Gringo have new batteries, Mammoth batteries. I forget what they're called, but those batteries, they fit in all the stuff, but they stick out, from the pack. But it's like twice as much battery or something like that. Can't remember how much, but that, and you can see their switch there. They have their own Gringo switch. And I think this is the big thing here is their new antenna.
You can get more.
I think you can get 5 on it, but the meshing is it's got perfect meshing now. Yeah. That's the whole thing. So you can put a bunch of them all over the place and just mesh continually, which is nice. So Gringo, we love you. Great products. All right, so now I'm actually in the Harman booth, looking at their stuff, and they're showing me these AMX control touchscreens, which are actually priced very well. So what Harman brought out, and I'll show you here. Well, that's a video over IP thing from AMX. We all know what this stuff is. They have some new BSS, have some new processors that have a new design software like QSYS. This is their control stuff. This is their DSP stuff. So it looks a little bit more like QSYS, drag and drop, plugins, control, all that stuff here. And then they're, with the AMX touchscreens, or here's the BSS, here's some of the processors with different channel counts. Nice display on the front. You can see signal, which is nice. They're trying to put everything on it that QSC doesn't have on their core. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, they probably have to.
Yeah,
I would say.
So those are the new processors, and the processors work in tandem with Crown amps, which work in tandem with their JBL line, which works in the whole thing. So they have a whole ecosystem that is really coming together real nice. Those are some of the UCIs there. Look really good, and really custom program, and that's an archaic piece of gear, but it'll still work with the new BSS stuff. Someone's water balling, I guess. Here are some JBL
in-ground speakers.
Yeah, and I saw these actually at one point. I was walking down the strip, and I was like, I'm noticing these things. An audiophile in Vegas. I'm walking. I'm like listening to the distributed audio. I'm listening to any dropouts. Like if I'm getting to a zone that has less.
Right.
And there was a chunk of the strip that I was like, oh dang, it sounds good. Like I want to know what that is. I was trying to look through the bushes. I'm like, Audrey's like, what are you doing? I'm like looking through the bushes. I'm like, I want to know what speaker it is. And I couldn't see it. And we just kept walking, and it was like really good coverage and really great low end and really good articulation. Like it just sounded good.
Yeah.
And it was this puppy. I forget what the model is, but eventually I found it, and it was that guy. It sounded good. I'd never heard it before, so I love it. I want to do that. And these puppies are the subs, and so you bury them.
Right.
You bury them so that you can get all that volume, all that air volume,
right,
underground, and then you just have a little thing popping up for the low frequencies, which is kind of cool.
Green, so they hide in the bushes.
Yep, and then some other surface mount speakers for architectural speakers that look really good, look fancy and good stuff, man. I liked it. All right, so this is a new. Okay. Well, we all know this. We all know in the audio world, the whole big thing is spatial audio. Spatial audio. So Elisa from L Acoustics, Sound Map, Meyer. What's Meyer?
Meyer is
I forget what the names are.
It's been too long.
Yeah. Whatever. Everyone has one. D&B have one.
Right.
Everyone has a spatial audio thing, which is supposed to work with a bunch of different speakers everywhere, and now you're moving things around in 3D essentially.
Yep.
And so Harman acquired this company called SPAT, or maybe that's what it's called now, but they acquired a company that built a 3D mapping processor. And so this is it. So now they're going to be able to do that with their speakers, with full integration with their amps and all that stuff. It's kind of cool. It shows some heat maps and what's popping up, and has phase. It's cool.
Yeah.
So you can look at phase for your mix. I like that. This is their VRX. series, and beside it, a couple different applications for their VRX, which I've heard before. It's kind of a higher end version of their SRX, which is right there as well. So those are the SRX, which we've done a product review on and installed a couple different times. So JBL, they're looking good. Harman's, I think, doing a pretty good job. They're fun to work with too. Yeah. So, all right, L Acoustics. So these are their new install speakers. So we know about the X8s and the 4XIs or whatever you want to call them all. These are the install versions. They have a what size speakers do they have? They have a 6 now, an install version of the 6, the 8, and an 8, I think. And then they also have a couple other wall mount subs, and I forget what that guy's called.
Column.
Yep. So I didn't really spend much time there. I went to their demo though. Let me pull it up. So, I went to their demo. I think I already told you.
Yeah, the
Resort,
Elisa.
World of Resort.
K2 Elisa.
K2 Elisa. Let's take a look at it. So if you can see,
that's a lot of speakers.
It is quite the rig. So let's try and make sense of that. So you have one. So
yeah,
we have, these are K2s. I think it's 14 a pop. So 14 K2s. That's 1, 2, 3. These guys were Kara, I think. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 K2
it's like
hangs.
98 K2s.
With something K2s. Like, I think up here, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I bet that's like 16 KS28s. And then they had probably as many on the floor in the stage, I think, on the ground. Wild setup. And they also had surround sound. So underneath I'll show you here in a video, but those X12s are just for the presentation. But we had this. There's some 5XTs on the front, and they're very, very close together. So you get an Elisa feel. You get the 3D sound feel even on the front row.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. You can see the theater is a beautiful theater. Beautiful theater.
Crazy.
Yeah. Let's try and get some shots of like the lighting. There's a bunch of A10 eyes installed everywhere underneath the seats.
Yeah.
For delays, like going toward like in people's face, underneath the areas of the hard to hit areas that the K2s don't hit. And then they had a bunch on the edges for surround sound for behind you. So if you can see here, those are the hangs right there.
Yeah.
There it is. Great cameraman. So those are surrounds, A10 surrounds, which were really cool to hear in this demo. Just chunks of Unistrut though. I was like, isn't there something cooler we could do? Or at least cut off the ends real flush or something?
Yeah.
I'm no hate. I don't know why you did that, but
it's a cantilever too.
Yeah. Here you have the Elisa processor software, and you can see this is during the demo.
It's half just swirling.
Yeah, it was like orbiting. They did a couple different demos of their Elisa system. They had, I think, a country song mixed. They had Josh was there, and he had a song from that he recorded at Transformation Church, I think, which is a new install that they did in the last year with the new L2s or whatever. Mm-hmm. Apparently the room's ridiculous. I
bet.
I want to go visit it, hear it. So they did an Elisa there, and so they recorded all the tracks from one of their worship sets, and he mixed it, and we got to listen to it, and it sounded really good. Then we listened to another one. One of their other engineers did the Museum Bible, or the Bible Museum
Right, in DC, Washington, DC.
Yeah, there's a interactive room with like projection mapping and stuff, and they mixed it, and it had something like a couple hundred tracks on Pro Tools. They had to like bounce it down and stuff. But yeah, we listened to it in that space, and it was cool. It was wild, very immersive. Just you feel like you're somewhere else. Kind of takes away from the room.
Yeah.
You see like all the orbiting stuff. That orbiting stuff was like little like violin, like ring, ring, ring. It's like, it was wild. So yeah,
that's nuts.
The idea behind Elisa is having. So there's Josh. So you know how internet. You know how two speakers. If I put a speaker over here and I put a speaker over here, this is called stereo. And when you have stereo, whatever's coming out of both speakers sounds like it's coming from the middle. We call that a phantom center. So if you have one speaker here and it's playing my voice talking, and you have one speaker here playing my voice talking, when you're standing in the middle of those two speakers, you hear my voice in the middle.
Right.
There's no speaker in the middle, but you hear them both. It's just psychoacoustics. Now, if you have two speakers and you're standing way over here and I'm talking, I'm in the middle of the speakers, it sounds like I'm talking from way over here. It's the orientation of where I'm coming from sounds different. So the idea behind this type of system, Elisa, is that you are almost putting a source into a speaker stack alone, and the orientation is coming from that location.
Right.
You can pair Elisa with tracking software. You can wear a thing, and you can have Elisa track where a speaker is walking across stage, and the sound of that person talking will move across speakers.
Right.
And so it sounds like the speaking is coming from the person wherever they walk. So the idea behind this thing is like it's almost like 3D sound in a way.
Yeah. Evolution of sound, live sound. It's like, what do you do after stereo? You do something like this.
Yeah.
Or they did surround, but what do you do after that? You know?
This is almost a callback to the Wall of Sound, Grateful Dead Wall of Sound,
right,
but with processing.
Right.
So now we have the line array, which got us vertical coverage.
Right.
It gave us vertical coverage from front to back, even frequency response, even SPL from front to back, which was an L Acoustics thing. I think they were the first line array.
Yeah.
Now, and that was getting away from the Wall of Sound, just a bunch of speakers just all shooting and coupling together. Now we use the line array for the vertical coverage, but then we put them all together, and now we choose which speaker the sound's coming from.
Yeah, and it's the experience you get from it.
It's
you don't
different.
need those speakers for that room. You don't need that many speakers in there.
If that was a stereo rig, though, you'd be on one side, and if you're looking at someone in the middle of the stage, and I'm way far house left, when they're talking, I'm hearing a speaker from above me on the left.
Right.
And so it's disconnecting.
Right. Yeah, it's a different experience completely.
With this, you have a speaker in the middle playing that voice, and it's not coming out of the house left speaker.
Right.
Now it's only coming out of that speaker. Now, obviously, you have to have more speakers now.
That's the thing. Yeah, you don't need all those. The only way to do it is to get tons of speakers that you don't technically need to fill a room, but you get so much added value and experience from it. It's the new thing.
My takeaway is that it felt cleaner and clearer. It felt less jumbled on top of each other, because essentially you don't have all these sources coming through the same,
fighting for room and space. Yeah,
right. It's a little bit like what Rat did. That's his mixing. He loves to put different sources into different speakers, which I totally understand. I've never tried that though. But now when you have something like this, it's doing it for you.
Yeah, you'd rethink how you mix and everything with something like that, for sure.
Well, you have to use that processor.
Yeah.
And you kind of and you can create scenes. You can it has reverb. It has a bunch of effects, room effects that you can add into it. It has close and it has depth. And so as a source gets further away from the audience, it adds in reverb. So make it sound like it's further away.
Right.
They demonstrated that. At the end of the day, though, you're listening to music, and these speakers sound amazing anyways.
Yeah.
So it's it's an experience. I think it is the future. We'll probably end up doing more of this, especially as like, I don't know. I guess pricing's not coming down anytime soon, but as amps become more dense, like they essentially, you know, that the LA 16 dot whatever it is, that new amp of theirs, which is like 16 channels and it's very dense, Class D. As that becomes more affordable, then you can kind of think about this stuff a little bit more. The prices are coming down. Their processor's coming down in price. They have a different. You can choose how many channels of it you need. But yeah, that's Elisa.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, it's cool you got to hear an assist. We've heard smaller systems, small setups before, nothing that scale.
Yeah, and I remember this rig when they deployed it here. Then they had the Katy Perry show, and remember we were watching it that one day. I was like, the Katy Perry show looked ridiculous. It was wild.
I bet.
But I was wondering what the sound was like. It was kind of cool to be in this room. As soon as I walked in, I'm like, oh dang, I know this room. So it's cool to hear it. Great job, guys. Great job, L Acoustics. Okay, so I don't know where we're at here. I have some more stuff. Okay, yeah. So we're out of Elisa now, back into this world. How are we doing on time? Just going wild or what?
We're pretty long.
Keep going, internet? Okay, we'll finish this up.
I mean, yeah, we can finish up.
This was projector mapping, and it was interactive. So this was in the Christie booth. They had a little room like this, and it was all projector mapped, and it was interactive. So where you walked or touched, you had interaction, which was really cool.
I mean, I remember when this kind of stuff started happening, and you'd see it at Infocomm, and it was like mind-blowing. And I don't think it ever really caught on.
It's expensive.
It's obvious. I mean, to make it look good, you got to have like really good stuff.
Yep.
Projectors, but it is awesome to walk around in those things.
Yep. So I tried to get a shot of all the projectors, the cameras, and the sensors. There's like a LiDAR sensor thing to try and show where it was. I'm sure the programming is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, the stuff you need to make that happen.
Right. But it's cool.
It is. It's awesome.
But how big a room can you do?
I know. I can't, like, what would that cost right there for that little thing? I mean,
those are Christie projectors.
Right.
A couple $100,000.
Yeah. Easy.
Yeah. Yeah. More projector mapping. It's always cool.
I mean, it looks sharp, man.
Yeah. Their projectors are the best.
Yeah.
This is another company, and they had 3D, live. You see a car going. So these are just a bunch of projectors showing off this software that live maps.
Yeah, it's nuts.
I mean, I don't know.
Amusement parks and stuff on rides or stuff like that. I don't know.
I mean, the most, I don't know, right? Literally the most applicable use of this would be for, you're an architect, a high-end architect.
I mean, that'd be cool. Show your house, show custom homes,
or an engineer, you're a car engineer, and you want to show off a car with different colors, different things, and you make a model and you map it. Yeah. But day to day, I don't know, man. All right, here's Resi's new little encoder, the Mini. Talked to the Resi guys, great people, trying to take over the world, one church at a time. So we're going to be working with them in the near future on some stuff. Here's Roland's booth. Nothing crazy new, but what they had, they're really good with the whole integrated video switcher and audio console. So it's like all-in-one gear, which I like. So they had some switchers showing, it's kind of with some PTZs, and they have some control stuff with it. So yeah, nothing crazy there, but a nice little, I think about those for like podcasts and stuff. Right. Your engineer just has everything right there, not two desks, like one single desk. Right. Everything into it, everything out. We went to Ross. So their whole thing that they brought out was this new switcher. It's a new Carbonite switcher. Carbonite code. It's NDI. So digital inputs and outputs. NDI inputs and outputs. kind of along the lines of that new Panasonic switcher.
Yep.
They have, I don't know if it's NDI that they use, but something like it. But NDI is obviously a video over IP protocol with like a bunch of other little things in it, low latency. So yeah, they're like, all right, let's bring out a Carbonite. It uses the same blade or whatever. It uses the same processor that you have. Yeah. It's just I believe it's just a license. So Carbonite code, that was from Ross. We're here at Sennheiser. I was just looking at some of their stuff.
Two-tone, huh?
Yep, that's their battery. Kind of a cool little proprietary battery pack that, you don't have to open up. It's right there. Once again, conferencing solutions. Tons of these mics, aerial mics that can pick up people and
booms or goosenecks again.
Goosenecks, but charging stations. That's kind of cool, right? Wireless charging. Huh? I like it. That's cool. I'm for it. A little charging dock. They have some cool stuff coming out. They're wireless.
Yeah.
Wireless IMs and wireless mics.
Yeah.
The whole new thing that's coming out. Oh, yeah. Maybe I shouldn't be talking about it. I don't know.
Yeah. Changing the world. Changing the AV world.
If they've had it, they didn't have it here, but
they were supposed to have it there, but it wasn't there, obviously.
Bert said that it was, sorry, Bert.
It's nuts. We'll talk about it at some point.
Yep.
Change your life.
So those are the same charging pad for their boundary mics. Those are the antenna right there. This is their cheaper stuff. This is like their, I don't know what bandwidth that is, but it's not the good stuff. Oh, look at this, a Red Bull F1 car. I mean, I was all over that.
Slick.
Yeah, it was cool, man. They look fast in real life. I'd never been up to an actual F1. This is not a real one because it's like someone could look underneath that floor and like get all the secrets.
Right.
So they had like a fake floor and fake pod input, radiator inlets, and the side pods looked a little different, but it was cool to see it, man. They look fast in real life, but that was obviously because of the Vegas race. Sim racing, baby, all over the place.
Look at that.
People waiting in line.
Were they selling like the kits to race, or are they selling like the wall?
I don't even know. Can you see anything there? I didn't even.
Track rack.
There was a lineup, dude, of people wanting to do this. That's the new F1 game on the Vegas track.
Oh, crazy.
So kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
It looked amazing. I mean, dude, if I was, it would be a lot of fun, man. If you use something like a wall like this, or like the wall, like the Panasonic wall.
Yeah.
Or is it Panasonic wall? You have a room like that. You just like get up to it.
Yeah.
Curve it. Crazy. Max Verstappen, you got to up your sim game. Get yourself a wall like this. I'll sell it to you. Snow Sound. So this is all designer acoustic panels.
Yep, they're nice. They're cool.
Yeah, really great company. Cool to hang out with. They locked me in here. I got a little scared for a moment. Just listening to that room. These are like designer panels. They're magnet. They're on there with a magnet, which is kind of nice. There it is, magnet. You like it? Ooh, yeah, everyone likes magnets. Because you can almost hear the sound when it clicks back in. Like, you can hear it in your mind. And he puts it back on. Like, shunk.
They got those little ceiling things, too.
They have a bunch of, like, designer.
They have furniture, too.
Yeah, acoustically rated furniture, which I think is kind of cool. They have, like, fake plants that you can put in the corner and kind of bass trap it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Snow Sound. Snow Audio, whatever it is. Okay. Let's see where we're at here. I'm going to wait on Hollow Plot. Let's do the Sphere another time. And I'll talk about Hollow Plot.
Okay.
Which is the speakers that they use in the Sphere. But these are just some cool speakers. We see these guys every year. They always have some wild looking speakers, man. Yeah.
You can't help but go over and look at them. Look at even like their stands, like their rigging and stuff.
Yeah, look at this guy.
I know. It's
so huge.
Nuts. What is this brand?
I never. It's so, the speakers are so remarkable that I never even look at the name.
I know. We always just go and stare at them.
If you're like a high-end club or something, you want some wild-looking thing beside the DJ booth, that's it. I don't know what they sound like. They look like they'll sound cool, but I don't know. Meyer.
Here we go.
Showing off the Panther, the 2100. And this is what they were talking about. This is their Ultra X series, and this is their new speaker, the X80, which I believe is a dual 12. I'm bad at this stuff, but it has all the same, cool features that the other ones do, like the rotatable horns and all that stuff.
Yep.
It's for large PAs. This is a big uns, and can't wait to hear it. I didn't get out to a demo, unfortunately, but that'll take care of a room, man. That X80, I'm sure of it. You can see the amp in the back. Wild, right?
That's a big speaker.
Yeah, such good stuff, man. I love their stuff. Jumping into some more speakers. We're at TOA, so we're looking at some of their distribution amps and speakers. They have a distribution amp with Dante, which is kind of cool, right? Just a small little amp that you could put behind a TV to power some speakers, and it's Dante now. Just makes your life easier.
Yeah.
It's very affordable stuff too. Can't wait. We'll be selling that stuff. That's like a wall panel. So it has a bunch of stuff. It has Bluetooth, has an input, auto ducking. You put a microphone on that input there, start talking, you have music playing, it'll duck for you right out of the box. It's kind of cool. That box was that gave me, I almost had to get a tetanus shot from that box. So, but that's like a little point source array. It's a single channel, but it is a little tunable. Kind of a cool little thing, probably for a small little rig.
It comes like that, right?
Yep. Yeah. Comes with some, it's pole mounted there. I'm not sure how many you can do it in I didn't get the mall numbers either, but
yeah, I remember those.
Yeah. This is another speaker company, VCA, I guess, but in wall art
crazy
speakers that you can put art in front of and get prints. I think we looked at this already.
Yep. That thing's crazy.
Yamaha was busy, very busy place. Everyone's like, "Ooh, DM7, can I get one? No. And they're like, "Nope, you can't."
You can.
I guess you can now. They're out now, right?
Well, it's like 8 months or so.
Yeah.
It ain't quick.
So yeah, the DM7's their new console. I played on a little bit. I like it.
Yeah.
It's cool. I haven't heard it essentially though. I don't know what it sounds like. Luke heard it. We sent him and a couple people up to a demo in Nashville or something. Yeah. And they listened to it and they liked it. We're putting it in and
we'll hear it soon. We're putting it
in a campus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's it, man. I'm all videoed out, bro. I'm all toured out.
Reminds me of Infocomm.
Just walking through it. I know. This is what it is. You walk around and you're like, oh yeah, look at that. Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
It's actually helpful to take video of these things because then I was like, when I was trying to connect with some manufacturers after, I was like, I took video of all our conversations.
Right.
So I was like, oh yeah, there. Yeah, I'll talk to him now. But overall, a great show. It's good to see it kind of pick up a bit. It was pretty busy. I know there's a couple years there, the COVID years that no one was going off. Yeah. It about died off.
Yeah.
So I think it was a successful conference. I can't wait for some of these manufacturers to really get their feet under them again after the pandemic and start putting out some real cool products. I get it. Conferencing, I get it.
Kind of boring though.
Boring, dude. I want something fresh and cool. So we'll see. LED walls, I get it. Yeah, now they curve. Okay, that's cool. Let's get to some real stuff. Let's get holograms. Let's do it.
Right.
But yeah, it was a good conference. My takeaways. Yeah, those are my takeaways. Conference rooms, and
makes sense. The market has to shift, to accommodate what's going on. So
right.
Obviously that's going on in a big way, but not the coolest.
So sorry we didn't get to the Sphere. Let's do that next week.
Yeah.
We'll do a whole thing on the Sphere. I think it's worth its own pod. I have a lot of takeaways from it. I think a lot of people would be interested to know what, an audio engineer thinks of that room, and video guy or whatever, integrator.
Right.
I stopped by their booth, Holoplot, and talked to one of the engineers that worked on the Sphere project. And so got a lot of good information from him, chatted with him for a while. So it's kind of cool to hear some inside scoops on the Sphere. So we'll do that next week or something like that. We can go over it.
Cool.
But you have anything else to say? I know you weren't there. You kind of were.
I mean, saw it. I just saw it. I don't know. It's worth going and seeing, especially for us, because it's what we do. So this is, right. We need to go and see it, see the new things. But yeah, I like when there's more like groundbreaking stuff. It just kind of blows your mind. Like, I can't believe they actually did it, or they're figuring it out.
Yep.
But I get it. The whole COVID thing really put a damper on everything.
Right.
In this industry for sure.
Yep.
And then now everybody works at home, so they want to sell conferencing stuff.
Yep.
So now everyone kind of switches to that.
Yep.
That stuff's cool.
Yeah, it worked. But anyways, yeah, that's it. That's Crown Design at Infocomm 2024. Hope y'all liked it. Hope you felt like you were there. It was like, put on your VR. Watch this video in VR and see how well it feels. Oh, wow. It looks like a desktop with, preview up. Wow. But, I hope you liked it. As for us, we're still cranking it out. Yep. Crown Design is happening. It's busy. We'll have some cool new projects to show y'all soon. Finishing up, trying to launch a project this weekend. Hopefully, we'll see. Yeah. They delay, man. They failed an inspection for their lawn or grounds or something like that.
Yeah, they couldn't get TCO in their building because of stuff going on outside.
How long ago did we get our inspection passed? Just for reference.
6 weeks, probably.
There you go.
I mean, that's how delayed this thing is.
Right. A bunch of new projects. We'll have some new launch stuff that we're going to talk about here in the next couple weeks.
Yep.
And then we'll do a July 4th Freedom Fest thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Crown Design Group. We are the best integration company in Florida, according to my mom. And we will. We love working with everyone. We're all over Florida. We're all over the states, honestly. But we're based in Bradenton, Sarasota. That doesn't mean much,
right?
But we like it. It's what we call home. But we get all over. And if you have a system, if you have a building you're building, you need some design, you need some procurement. You just need to get some wireless mics. You just need to get an LED wall. We'll put it together for you, sell it to you, install it for you, service it. CROWNCARE.
CROWNCARE, 24/7 help. CROWNCARE.help for all of your AVL needs. When your stuff breaks down, get on there, give us a call. We'll give you a call, actually, within 20 minutes, usually 30 minutes, maybe even sooner, depending on how busy it is. But help you out with all kinds of stuff. If you are looking to do a project, get us in early. We got a crazy call just a couple weeks ago of a big building being built, and they have no integration company at all, and they do a lot of production stuff, and they're rushing. They're going to pour the slab of the building, and they have they have nothing.
Right.
And we're trying to jump in here really quick and help them out, and we'll do it. But get us in early, people. Yeah. Get us in early.
Yeah, they were like, "Hey, we're thinking we need like an AV integrator because we need speakers, we need all this stuff." And
they want to do all kinds of stuff.
Like, the building's about to start and all this stuff. We're like, "Oh, okay, cool, yeah. I guess we'll send you a contract. We'll figure things out." And like, yeah, we're pouring the slab this Friday. I'm like, pardonnez-moi. We need to do some stuff. You need ground conduit. It's a lot easier to do it in the ground than up in the air and all this jazz. And so I don't know what they did. I mean, we got them conduit drawings, but I don't know if they got it in time. He said that he'd get conduit in a day. I'm like, oh, maybe.
Himself.
Hopefully they did.
Himself.
But we'll see. But anyways, if you have a building project, something like that, we'd love to help you out. That's
not too early. It's never too early to get us.
No,
is what I'm trying to point out.
We will help you out. Architects don't know this stuff. Unfortunately, they can build a building. They know office buildings. They know commercial buildings, but they don't know AV buildings. Right. And that's what some of these buildings are. So if we can help, we'd love to.
Sounds good.
Love y'all.
Peace out.